Hey, everybody. This is Elizabeth and Joanne with World's Cup of Joe. Awaken your soul. If you are new to our channel, welcome. This is your new home for balanced energy in your twin flame connection. We are here to teach you everything we know. And Joanne and I are each in our own permanent relating experiences with our twin flames. We've gone through the dark night, the separation, and we learned how to balance our energy so that our person can be drawn back in. And we are now both in permanent relating experiences. And we are here to help you all shift and help you balance your own energy. So I wanted to bring you in, Joanne, because I had this download the other night. Sometimes I'll just wake up in the middle of the night and I will be just given this like nugget of source energy and this information that I am like, oh my gosh, I've got to share it with you all because it's like an energy to shift in. And so I felt into this thought and I was like, I wrote about it as soon as I woke up. So here's where I was at. And so let's just sort of get deep on this. So whenever I wake up in the middle of the night, how I fall back asleep, I've talked about this in other videos, is I will put my arm around my person and sort of touch his stomach. And I will sort of just be present in touching his stomach. And I was thinking about, though, this night was like, even though I'm touching my person's body, the person's physical, it made me start thinking about clients we've had that will call us and they get upset because their person just wants friends with benefits. And I was thinking about it. If they don't want friends with benefits, then therefore they aren't just happy with their person's body. And I'm telling you all this so we can get back to your person's not the body or the mind, they are their soul. So I want to sort of draw this out for you guys. So I'm sitting there touching my person's body, and I was thinking about these beautiful souls that get upset that their person just wants the physical side of the relationship with them. And it's never enough, right? It's never enough to just be intimate with their person, but not have more than that intimacy, right? So then I was thinking about it, and I was thinking about, well, what about the mind? Would our clients be satisfied with just having the mind of their person? And then I was thinking, no, because we have clients all the time that are like, my person just wants to be friends. Well, when you're friends with your person, you are essentially getting a part of their mind, right? So the mind is not enough. The body alone is not enough. What is it that we all really want with our person? Well, we want all of them. We want their soul. We want what Michael Singer would refer to. I'm a huge Michael Singer fan. Joanne introduced me years ago and game changer in my life, in my spiritual journey, and in my twin flame connection, honestly, was Michael Singer and all of his works. But Michael Singer will always do this tag phrase when he's explaining who you are. He'll say, who's in there? Who's in there? And when I was thinking about my person with my hand on his stomach, I was thinking, I want who's in there. I don't want his body. I don't want his mind. I want who's in there. And that is the soul. That is the one that observes. That is the one that watches. That is the one that shares the same energetic vibration as me. I want the soul. That's why the mind and the body will never be enough. It will never be enough to just have either their mind or their body, or even their mind and their body. I want it all. I want the soul because I am his soul. And that's the oneness. And so it was this sort of beautiful shift within myself too. When I was thinking about this thought, touching his stomach was like, I could talk to him all day. The mind is not satisfied with his mind. The mind is not satisfied even if we were intimate all day. It wants more. And I'm going to tell you there's one way that I feel into this oneness so deeply, where it feels like I am all. And when he's sleeping on his side, I will sort of curl up next to him and my body sort of fits into his, almost like a puzzle piece, like my legs behind his. Sit there and I'll put my arm around him. And there's this energy exchange between the two of us where I don't even feel his body anymore. I just feel peace. And in this peace, I feel this oneness with him and the soul that we share. It's so beyond the physical, so beyond the mind. It is just this pure being. And when I feel that, there's this wave of peace that takes over me. And I sort of just like breathe into that space. And that's the oneness I feel. And there's no place on earth that I feel that same sense of peace as when I'm in that oneness. And so I really wanted to share this message with you guys, because our minds are so addicted to the mind and the body. And that's what we're always focused on, right? When we talk to clients, their minds are always addicted and focused on the minds and the physical of their person. And it's like, what are they doing? What are they thinking? Who are they with? And at the end of the day, it doesn't matter. The physical and the mind are not your person. And I explain that by saying, if they were enough, if the mind and the body were enough, it would feel like enough when you're either intimate with them or when you're friends with them, but it doesn't. Why is that? It's because you want more than that. You want your shared soul. Who's in there? As Michael Singer would say, you want who's in there. And who's in there? Your other half, the other half of your soul. So with that, Joanne, I'm going to open my eyes because I was like almost in like this meditative state right there talking.
Oh my gosh.
I hope you felt it.
Freaking smokes. I was totally there with you. I was like, whoosh, whoosh, like not even kidding you. While you're talking, so we just had rain here, and you know how the clouds get when rain just came and it's so full. And while you're talking and sharing the oneness of our twin flame, right? When you can feel, you guys, this is not push, by the way. When you ever feel like you want to focus on the physical of your person, right? The vessel, or you want to think of the mind of your person, right? Both of those are the temporary aspects of your soul, your person, your twin flame, you, soul. When you focus on those two things, you miss out on what really is on the other side. Because if you were to put that same who's in there in another body, in another mind, you would be as consumed, as infatuated, as loved, that unconditional love pouring out for whoever you put it in. But it's your person, but it's not their mind and body that draws you in. You guys have heard our twin flame sex videos. If you guys don't know about that, find out. We have a couple videos. You guys will find that the sex isn't enough. It's not. Even my person said that. He was like, this isn't enough to show you what we are. My asleep, my very asleep, divine masculine, right? My negative polarity, the other side of my soul confirmed with me that the physical relating experiences that our bodies can have together is not enough. And same goes for our mind. We can sit there and talk all day, right? And I've told you guys this. It's like, what are you doing tomorrow? What are you doing next week? What are you doing next year? What are you doing for the rest of your freaking life? That's how my mind is regarding my person. All day, every day. What are you going to do? Because I want to be there. The mind wants to be an all day, everyday event with your person. But it isn't the mind that it's trying to relate with. Because I've told you guys, me and my person could sit in a room and not say a word, and it's enough. It feels like we've been speaking our whole lifetime together. It feels like we've never stopped talking. Even when we were in separation, even before we met, even before we physically met, it's like we've never stopped talking. It's like all these lifetimes of lifetimes of lifetimes. And when my soul showed me itself, it was like, boom, there you are. Where the heck have you been my whole life? And I'm caught right back up to every single thing I've missed out on before we met. And same goes for separation. When you've separated, right? When you've separated, this is how you know they're not the body, you're not the body, they're not the mind, you're not the mind. Because as soon as you come back together, it's like they never left and you're caught up with everything. You really are. You're kind of just like, I know. How do I know? How do I know? Because who is in there? Who's in there? You are in there. Your one soul is in there. And when Elizabeth was explaining this oneness with me, and I'm looking at the clouds because you like took me on a unity consciousness level of, woo! When I reached that oneness place that she speaks of, this is a very magnetic space, my love. This is where you are aligning with your true being as soul. The oneness of who is in there is you. And when I was feeling into that, the same download came to me. So Elizabeth's been reading Raw, and we've been dissecting it. So freaking beautiful. If you've ever gotten a chance to read pieces of Raw, like the way he writes, the way the verbiage, it's like the right word for the right message, right? And the way Elizabeth asked me because just like Elizabeth, she gets downloads, I get them too. And the way I get downloads and the way I answer is through soul. So source speaks through me, right? I'm always, before I go into meditation and when I finish a meditation, I'm always asking source, use this vessel, use me as a form of voice, speak through me. And I remember working through this when I opened up my throat chakra, speak through me. And when you open up your crown chakra, you're actually getting the download of source. Like it's like one source, what truth is, okay? So Elizabeth asked me when she was reading Raw, because a lot of us are so focused on the physical vessel of our person. She was like, what happens after ascension? What happens to the other body? What happens to my twin flame? And again, like I told you guys, when I go within and I feel into the answers, it's like God speaks through me. And it was like, all I saw was light. It was so beautiful. It's like, here we are in this vessel, in this lifetime, freaking all consumed, trying to figure out what our person's doing for the rest of their life, when we've had lifetimes with this energy of us, and we're so obsessed about this one single aspect of our soul. Literally, this one aspect, one blimp, one little drop, when we've had lifetimes of this energy. And all I saw was light. It was like when we get to this place where we are back with God, we merge back with God. Our twin flame is us. It's one soul. And it was just like, it was almost like seeing our two, the negative and positive polarity, the feminine and then the masculine, all both coming together and you merging with God as one. That was like just one big light. And so it's like all the past lives and all of the future lives are still intertwined as one soul. And nothing else matters but that one unison soul, when all we worried and cared about was the body and the mind. When we leave this vessel, we really do. We both leave this vessel to be one with God. How freaking beautiful is that? We all leave this vessel and go back to source as one soul. When the mind is just worried about the outer, the bodysuit, right? The suit that holds what's in there. And when I look at my person, I don't see the body anymore. I don't see the body. I don't see the mind anymore. All I see is my soul. And even if I'm not home, right? I'm not home right now. I'm driving, high-vibing with you guys. I still feel him, loves, because he's me. And that's that unity consciousness. There is no ending or beginning of your one soul. You are simply one. energy, one soul energy. When you are so consumed with the vessel and so consumed with the mind, trying to figure out what they're doing, what they're thinking, what they're feeling, you're aligning with the part that gets left behind when you go back to source. You're consuming yourself with the 3D aspect of your soul when you got this whole other level of 5D, whole other level of oneness. It's like so insignificant, the focus that the mind has, because the mind can only see and feel the temporary aspect of this forever. This is an eternal connection. This is the connection closest to God. It's literally God giving you a gift to experience your soul. And when you can see your person no longer as the physical body and the physical mind, you can now really feel into the soul that you both are. You can, in a way, both be in front of each other and really merge that one soul together. It's like seeing your one soul become whole, and then the two bodies and the mind yield as the soul reunites itself. And the body and mind, my loves, is that temporary part of us. So when the mind is doing what it's doing, oh my gosh, oh my gosh, oh my gosh, what are they doing? What are they thinking? What are they feeling? What am I? Because they are me. What am I doing? What am I thinking? What am I feeling? Who is in there, love? Seriously, sit with yourself right now. Who's in there? Who's watching? Who's being? Who's observing? You. Your twin flame is you. That's this journey. This whole journey woke us up to uncover you. This freaking video is like top level, love. I've got nothing but chills.
I know.
Also,
total unity consciousness. I can't even tell you. I felt like we were doing a guided soul inquiry while we were doing that. That's what it felt like.
Oh my gosh. I'm literally shaking all over my body. I feel this when I'm in deep meditation and I'm vibrating in the inside out. Now I'm like on another level. I feel like we've tapped into this inner one soul energy, like tied to source, right? And that's our twin flame. That's why me and Elizabeth keep telling you, all those stories don't matter. Because really, in the end of everything, we all go back to source and our one soul merges together with God. Like, how beautiful is that? Your one soul, right? So let's get real. Your one soul chose you to wake up. It didn't wake up the other body. It woke you up. So your one soul, and I think that's what Elizabeth said, how selfish of our soul to be like, okay, cool, we're gonna wake up really, really fast. And this is the fourth spiritual awakening, everybody. Get ready, because I'm gonna bring two of you together so you can have this soul shock and soul recognition to know you're not mind and you're not body. It's really like a huge spiritual awakening happening that you signed up for without even knowing. And it's the fastest way to your soul. It's a fast hack, right? It's like a spiritual hack to be a twin flame. It's going to be painful. It's going to be cray-cray. But when you can get to the other side of balanced energy and you can watch the two bodies and mind yield and experience your one soul together, right? The way I picture it is like both of us together, right in front of each other, standing in front of each other. And while I'm looking at him and he's looking at me, Our one soul is watching us both become one. It's really, really beautiful. We become our one soul. And that's why we always say, when you're together, it's a reunion. It's really a reunion of your soul. And when we are worried about the 3D dynamics of all the stories, we're staying in that separation consciousness. When you're back into that merging of that one soul and you feel into soul, soul is perfect. Soul is one. Soul is everything. Soul needs nothing because it is everything. So you can look at your situation, whatever it is, and shift through it energetically by knowing you are already one. However it's showing up for you in the physical, temporary 3D, through 5D, your oneness is beyond time and space. It's eternal. It's out of the world. It's out of the cosmos. And every little thing that you experience with your soul, whether it's the physical, whether it's just looking at each other, whether it's texting, whether you just put both of your hands together, just placing your hand over the other, there's some reunion, some soul merging happening there. Words can't describe that crap. What is that? What is that? That's your who's in there coming together as one. Every single moment you and your soul are reunited is an opportunity for you to balance back into soul and remember who you are as soul. You are being reunited with the true you. And it's like we've lived all these lifetimes with our twin flame. And in this lifetime, we get to experience the body and mind and soul, 3-part triune being, full body, mind, and spirit experience with our person. It's mind-blowing, because when we get to the other side with God, the body and mind experiences doesn't get experienced. So how blessed are we all, twin flames, right? All we positive polarities, divine feminines, how blessed are we if your soul, your person is still in this physical? How blessed are you to be able to engage and interact in your one soul? That's why making love is out of the world. That's why making eye contact feels like your souls are dancing. That's why when you put your hands together, it feels like there's electricity coming between your fingers. Everything is really, really, really magical when you're coming together as one soul. So when you forget who's in there, you're forgetting the biggest part of this journey, because who's in there is how you become one. What's out there is what keeps you separate. Go within and always ask who's in there, because who is in there is your soul, and that is your twin flame. We love you all so much. Bye, love.
Bye, my dear. Love you.
Love you too. Bye.